Hey, how's it going? Thanks for stopping by, just checking out what I've been up to. This is gonna be another one of those book haul videos. This one's update 31, so here we go. I would have had this video out to you guys a lot sooner, but had I known that one of the books I had on pre-order, had I known that date was gonna change, it was like one more book I was waiting on, and that wasn't gonna be released originally until like April 29th. Well, that got pushed back till August, like mid-August, so, and I wasn't aware of that until the night of, so. Oh well, I got a big stack of books here to show you guys, so let's get through it. So first up, continuing on with collecting some more Weird Tales. I'm a big-time newbie at a lot of this, so I figured I couldn't go wrong with the best of Weird Tales. Freaking love the cover art for this dust jacket. So yeah, don't have very much Weird Tales in my personal collection. The other one I have that I thumbed through and enjoyed a little bit of, haven't gone through all of it, is the Weird Tales, the 100 Years of Weird. 100 Years Anniversary Edition, very nice book. And now I have one reprinted magazine, like volume 1 of Weird Tales. It's sort of like a bootleg edition. I didn't know that at the time. And now I have this. There's 2 other books I want to get, and then I think I'll take a break and enjoy what I have, and go through those. And yeah, take a break from collecting the Weird Tales stuff. But for now, a newbie like me, I figured I couldn't go wrong with going after this best of. And I got it for like dirt cheap. This one's been out for like a long minute. Here's the write-up on the back. Definitely going to want the dust jacket, because as usual, these books are pretty plain Jane. At least it's got a nice spine to it, though. It's pretty cool. Barnes & Noble books, originally. I just got this one pretty cheap through half price books in their online store. So that's that. All right, next. I have volume 1, and I love having that book. So here's volume 2, or it's the second installment. I just say volume 2, but yeah, it's the Return to the Vault of Horror. So a book of 58 great British horror movies from 1956 through 1978. I've always loved that movie poster right there. For what's the horror anthology on that one? I forget the name of that movie, but yeah, the whole mausoleum is awesome. Graveyards. I'm drawing a blank on this movie though, that this cover art belongs to, or the poster art I should say. But yeah, volume 2. Pretty cool. I love these books. Break it down and the breakdown genres and subgenres and stuff. And so yeah, more British horror added into my cinema book collection. There's the write-up on the back. This one I originally had pre-ordered, but my pre-order was canceled because this never would ship. So I had to wait a few more months for this to be available to me, because I think this book actually came from the UK, so it's definitely imported it. Pretty cool. Just like with the first volume, you've got some pictures. If I could slow down and actually show you guys. I'm working with one hand, and I'm kind of being lazy this time around with just doing this whole POV style, so I hope you guys don't mind. I feel like you could see the books better this way, and I feel less awkward, especially handling the bigger size books. Like, I know I'm working with one hand, but at the same time, it's just easier this way. And you don't have to stare at my ugly mug. So, you know, there's that. Yeah, pretty cool. I'm not going to bore you guys, but yeah, these are great books. I'm happy to finally get volume 2 added into my horror cinema book collection for sure. So yeah, volume 2. I forget when the first volume came out. It was not that long ago. All right, next up is the new Essential Guide to Hong Kong Movies. Rick Baker and Ken Miller. And then Afterwards by Cynthia Rothrock and Vincent Lin. I mainly got this because it's got an awesome section for like Hong Kong horror, exploitation, and like sci-fi stuff. But this is a little bit of everything. Action, of course, you've got the martial arts, kung fu, action cinema stuff here. But yeah, I mainly personally got it because it's got like a great write-up of the horror stuff. So I've been collecting a lot of that lately, thanks to all these beauty labels finally putting out the obscure stuff. So I figured this would be a cool book to add into my cinema book collection for sure. And it's always, I think it's kind of cool to read up on other genres, even though I don't really collect much of all the other stuff, but still be cool to read up on the action stuff as well. But yeah, I mainly got this for, like I said, the horror and exploitation and weird sci-fi stuff. So pretty cool. Really nice book, as you can see. A lot of glossy color photos, and yeah, love these books. Love that these are all broken down in sections. So really nice book. So I got that. The Hong Kong Movies Guide. Awesome. So right up on the back. And I've got another book that covers a few Hong Kong horrors and stuff, but I think it's mainly Japanese movies though. So Japanese horror and all that stuff. So that's that. I didn't really need this one, but I couldn't help it because I just love these type of books. Like I said, it's another subgenre in horror, and this is about villainous, murderous, evil kids. This one's simply called Evil Seeds, the ultimate movie guide to villainous, children. And it's got tons of great reviews for this book. Pretty cool. I've already thumbed through it, so it gives you some pretty obscure stuff as well. So it's not all just the mainstream, well-known titles. That was a good movie. Really good movie. It has a sequel too, doesn't it? I have to look at my collection. It's been a while since I've watched that movie. So cool. Evil Seeds. Edited by Vanessa Morgan. Alright. Diving into some Ghost Rider goodness. I'm going to break these out. Here's the first one. I didn't grab all of them. I mainly grabbed the ones that were nostalgic to me, which would be the ones from like the late 80s, 90s. But I went ahead and I wanted to go after the classic stuff as well. So I've been craving a lot of Ghost Rider stuff. So that's just kind of it's been my jam for recently. So Epic Collection, Ghost Rider. I'm not too familiar with the much earlier stories of Ghost Rider. So yeah, all this is going to be new to me. Like I said, I grew up with collecting all the Ghost Riders from like the 90s, just because of my age. So I never got around to collecting any of the ones from the 70s. That is one of the coolest villains ever. Getting some Fulci vibes right there. Fighting a shark. These are pretty nice. It's a pretty easy way to collect all these archive books. So yeah. Got volume 1 here of the Ghost Rider collection. Pretty cool. Definitely one of my favorites from the world of Marvel. Gotta love Ghost Rider. And then this is more of my jam right here. So awesome. The Danny Ketch version. Not my favorite as far as all the bikes that he's had, but not my favorite design, but definitely very nostalgic. Yeah, it's badass. I like it, but I do prefer like the solid red, simpler motorcycle traditional design versus this extremely detailed high-tech look here. But I do like how the tires eventually just became solid fire. That's cool. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun revisiting the 90s stuff here for sure. Definitely get your money's worth with these archive books. I was originally going to go after some just original comics, a few Ghost Rider comics, but I just figured I'd go after these archive, but these are really nice. So as you can see, crystal clear with the print and everything. Nice glossy pages. No complaints from me. These are pretty nice. So yeah, that's pretty much my Ghost Rider fix here. That's the only two archive volumes that I grabbed this go around. I don't know if I'll grab like volume 3 on up, because the art, the style has changed quite a bit, and I just prefer this style of drawing and stuff, and I think I'm done for now. I might go after some more Ghost Rider later on as far as the archive stuff, but I'm happy with just these two. So that's that. I do have my tape measuring out just in case if you guys get curious of these bigger size books. Since I'm doing it POV here, and you really can't get a good idea on the size of these books. So I do have my tape measure out just to kind of give you an idea of how tall some of these are. So hopefully I remember to do that. So that's why that's out there, just to kind of give you guys an idea on some of these books here, the scale on some of these books. All right. Kind of been curious about this one. This was another one that's got a lot of great reviews, and I like collecting these sort of like history on horror comics. I got a few of these books, and this is just another one I've been curious about, and it's got a lot of positive reviews, and it covers a lot from 1940s clear up to 1980s. That's awesome. So yeah, the horror comics, fiends, freaks, and fantastic creatures. I love the cover art to that. That's pretty cool. By William, I'm going to butcher his last name, Scowl? Can't say that right. Yeah, and some more McFarlane. Swear the company just releases it all. From 2014, this one's got some years on it. Grabbed this one for a decent price too. I've been waiting for this for a seller to pop up with for this to be a good price, and finally jumped on one that the price agreed with me. Or I agreed with it, whatever. Can't talk. It also covers some more of the obscure sort of fly-by-night knockoff comics as well, so that's what I'm looking forward to from the few reviews I've read. So classic. Cool. The horror comics from 1940s to 1980s. That's it, guys. I won't bore you with that one too much. I don't know if I showed you the write-up, but here's the write-up in the back. You can see that. There you go. Just pause it if you need to. So that's that. Getting some more Vampirella into my collection. This is another archive book here. This is the Essential Warren Years. Freaking awesome. And this book didn't cost much either. It's just pretty much going for peanuts. Really, I got a good deal on this one. And as you can see, it's all in black and white, which is fine. And a lot of these stories, I'm familiar only with a handful of Vampirella stuff. I was on a Vampirella kick not too long ago. Huge. So I'm like, I need to go after more of these archive books. Again, nice glossy pages. Okay. The Essential Warren Years, Volume 1. I don't know how many volumes there are, and I didn't even realize this was a Volume 1 when I ordered a copy of this. So I'll have to do some digging, seeing how many volumes came out. I don't know. I did not realize that until this came in. I was like, oh, this is Volume 1. I did not even notice that when I was reading about it online. All right, continuing on. Collecting more of the library series here, the EC stuff. I got a good deal on this one. 40 Wax and Other Stories, illustrated by Jack Kamen. More classic stuff. Beautiful series here. I don't want all of these, because I know some of them are just war stories. Like it gets out of horror. Just mainly interested in collecting, obviously, the horror, thriller, and the suspense, the mystery stuff. And then I'm gonna tap out. So I'm not trying to collect all of these. It'd probably drive some of you who are completists, probably drive you nuts. But me, I'm fine with just collecting certain ones. Which way do I want to go? Hold on, I'm trying to figure this out. Okay. right, so that's that. Awesome. Just building it slowly. That's all of what I have right there so far. Another one. The Planetoid and Other Stories. Oh yeah, and sci-fi. I'm definitely interested in the collecting the sci-fi stories as well, because I mean you have aliens and crazy monster-like creatures. So love the coloring of this book. It's beautiful. See if I can zoom out a little better. There we go. Switch hands. I need to do some more research. I honestly don't know how many total of books I'm going to end up having. Got quite a bit right now, but I'm still missing a chunk that's on my want list. But I'm getting there, slowly but surely. Yeah, these books are awesome. So I already have all these stories, but I don't have it in this book form. So these are just really nice, and I don't mind that they're in the black and white, all the illustrations. So it's pretty cool. So that's that one. All right, I am finishing up the softies. I'm done with this series, guys. I'm done with the softies. I'm waiting on, this is the final installment for Haunt of Fear, volume 5. So that's it. I'm done collecting these. Feels good. Yeah, I've been at it for a while. So this came in, got all 5 volumes now of the Haunt of Fear. I've said it before, I'm so happy that Dark Horse reprints these every so often for us newbies that are just getting into this stuff. So yeah, pretty cool. Some of you might not like this series of the modernized coloring. I think they did a really good job. It doesn't bother me, this new modernized coloring. It's fine. And that's why I'm collecting a lot of the black and white stuff too, so I can have a original. And I'll be honest, it kind of keeps me awake when I'm reading some of this at night. The color, it does help. It's awesome. All right. Here's the back. All right, the next softie is now I'm playing catch up on collecting these. This is volume 1 of the crime suspense stories. I could say that right. I told myself I wasn't going to get into the crime, but I had to, because some of it does get a bit supernatural. So I'm like, damn it, yeah, I'll go after these as well. So I was missing these volumes. So yeah, this is volume 1. Here's what's included. What all is included in this one. Again, let me switch hands. Trying to get in the habit of doing that. Cool. That's volume 1. Volume 2. Let me out. I'm gonna freeze to death. Murder. Here's what all is included in this one. The execution. Not familiar with some of these stories. Thanks for the Tales from the Crypt episodes. A few of those from the 90s. That's volume 2. Volume 3. That's pretty iconic, right? Classic cover there. You have to excuse me, that was our cuckoo clock. It goes off every 30 minutes. Us old folks like things like that. We got that, that's legit. Got that when we were in Germany. Anyway. Let's go. The Grim Reaper. Another story on the electric chair. Okay. So volume 3. And ending it with volume 4. I believe this is the last one. Yeah, it's a thick one. It's a bent page. Can't be having that. That bugs me. It's like my OCD or something. It's not bad, but if I can fix it. Very cool. I believe that is it. I am done with the softies, so awesome. All right, next book. Some more books on horror cinema. I got Horror Unmasked, a history of, what's it say? A history of terror from Nosferatu to Nope. So yeah, this one's fairly new. Got our little write-up on the movie Nope. So yeah, this book is not that old. Gotta love the raised graphics there for this book. That is awesome. What's the size on that one? Was that like a good foot? That's around 11. Excuse me. Get into the bigger books, so if you were curious, there's the scale of this. It's pretty eerie. I always go weak for these type of books. I love the way this book is laid out. It's pretty neat. It's good glossy color photos. That's always appreciated. Not a book that I really needed, but it's cool to have. I mean, I have other books that cover the same, most of these movies, but you never know. There's some movies that, some of the newer ones, that don't get talked about are in these books here, so it's cool. I was just checking my time, excuse me. Me and my youngest kid, we got somewhere to be, so can't have this be too long of a video. We have got somewhere to be here pretty soon. That's a great movie, Night of the Demon. It also goes by something else, but I don't remember, but pretty cool. All right, it's a nice book. Yeah, I dig it. No regrets. Okay. All right. And all these books are in no particular order, really. It's just from scale, I guess, from smallest to largest in scale, really. This one is the Encyclopedia of Serial Killers, and I think this is the revised second edition. So that's the one I went after, because it goes into a little more detail, I believe, and a few serial killers have been added in this newer version, I think, from what I've read. But yeah, this is the newer softy edition, much cheaper than the hardback, or excuse me, hardcover. I keep saying hardback. I mean hardcover. So yeah, softy, way cheaper to get the softy. So I don't mind that. Here's the write-up in the back, if you guys can see that. If I can move my thumb. And this is a beefy size book for sure. There's the spine. I think I'm pretty much done collecting the serial killer stuff. I knew I had to go after this book because just tons of great reviews on it, and it seems like it covers quite a bit. So if you're curious, the size of this book, there you go. I'd say it's about 1.5 inches in thickness. And it's just like a phone book of just thousands upon thousands of names. It's crazy. And this is all you need here. As far as covering all the, I guess, the well-known ones. Serial killers. But it also gets into more sort of the lesser-known people as well. All in alphabetical. I can appreciate that. I like how this book is laid out. It's yeah, very easy. So cool. If you're into the true crime stuff, I would definitely a book you gotta have for sure. At least I do. So that's that one. Building up the stack there. Don't topple over. All right, and then getting into some more Marvel, as far as collecting in books here, more Marvel horror. Tower of Shadows. This is one of my pre-orders here. This is volume 1. So I don't know how many volumes are going to be, but I'll try and remember to not forget about this. So yeah, this is just kicking off with volume 1, and this is one of the pre-orders. I think this is the one that I was waiting on that came out April 22nd. So yeah, Marvel's Tower of Shadows. So definitely trying to build up my Marvel horror for sure. Because I'm only familiar with a handful of characters in this Marvel universe here. So a very cool archive book here. Yeah, I'm not at all familiar with Tower of Shadows. But I figured I'd get familiar with it. Better late than never. You right? Alright, pretty cool. So volume 1 of the Tower of Shadows. Lost Marvels. Very nice. Love that spot gloss cover. Pretty fancy smanchy. Fancy smashy. Can't talk. What's that? Don't topple over, please. Oh, almost forgot. What's the scale on this? Checking my time. I'm good. All right. Nearly a foot. Did I show the write-up in the back? I don't remember, but there you go. Try not to be in too much of a rush, guys. I apologize. I don't know when I'm going to be able to do another lengthy video, so I had time to do it now. So I'm going to Now this one has been on my want list from the very get-go, so finally found a good price for this one. This is all about the history of drive-ins and what movies played at the drive-ins. All that good exploitation and horror and all that good stuff. So, and it goes into the drive-ins themselves. And yeah, Ghostmasters by Mark Walker. So freaking awesome. Finally came across a good deal for this book. Definitely one of those cinema books I've been after from the very get-go. Really good condition. You don't remember to take that off. That bugs me. It's not a biggie, but... And I don't know what it looks like without its dust jacket. I'm curious. Oh. Definitely gonna want the dust jacket for sure, right? There are quite a few books I'm trying to get my hands on, if I can just find them for the right price. I'm late to the party with a few books that I have on my want list, but hey, slowly but surely, it's all about the hunt. So all about trying to find the good deals for some of these. That's awesome. Read up on that. All right, so that's that. Really cool book. Definitely one of the highlights in this update for sure, for me personally. So that's that. Did I show you the write-up in the back? You guys can read that? Probably not. Positive you have to. Maybe you can read it that way. It's very glossy, so trying my best, guys. Glad to finally get that book added into the collection. Oh, almost forgot. Let's show you the scale on this one as best I can. It's nearly a 1-footer. Okay. This one was not, I don't know why it wasn't, but this one actually originally was not on my want list, and I just stumbled across it, and I was like, I gotta have that. Anything like Swamp Thing and what have you. And I do love this guy's art. Bernie Wrightson. I had a few of his collector cards growing up back in the 90s. And definitely nostalgia when I came across this book. I was like, holy crap. I remember this guy's work. And I did have a few of his cards, collector cards. And this book is pretty much a collection of all his work that he was pretty much allowed to do with, like, having so much, he was given some free time to do whatever he wanted to do. So, and this is all of the collection of those cards. I never had the complete collection, so this is a good way to, this archive book is a good way to get it all for sure. So it's freaking awesome. And he did a lot of like monsters and ghouls and cemeteries and all this other horror themed art. So I was like, I have to have this book. Especially since, like I said, I never had all the cards. So this is just killer stuff. I'll try to flip through here as best I can. book is very new, so it's pretty stiff. One of the best coffee table books ever, huh? Some more Swamp Thing. Some werewolf action, that's pretty cool. I had that one. The corpse rising from the grave there. See the headstone right there? I had that card as well. So my eyes lit up when I came across this book. I was like, I have to have this. Got some Creature from the Black Lagoon sort of inspired piece there. Pretty cool. Oh, I can't show it all, but you guys get the point, man. There's a lot of cool stuff. Check that out. Oh! I don't know where it's at. Dang it. I lost my place, but this giant centipede-like bug. I don't know if you guys saw that, but that was pretty cool. There it is. Look at that craziness. All right. Pretty cool book. So glad to get a collection of his horror stuff for sure. The FPG Years. Bernie Wrightson. Try to be careful with this book. I'm banging it around. Here's the write-up on the back, if you guys can see that. Pause it if you need to. Okay. Oh, get on there. About 9 inches in width. All right, and last, for now, is some more Vampirella. This one is The Art of Vampirella, The Warren Years. So yeah, I was on a big, still am, a big Vampirella kick right now, so grabbed a few of these archive books. This is another one I didn't have. Just so I don't forget, let's just go ahead and get this out of the way. This one has all the awesome artwork in this book here. It's over a foot, just over a foot. And that is just over 9 inches in width. Okay, let's show you the write-up in the back. You can see that. This book has got some weight to it. It's heavy. Now this definitely would have been awkward if I were trying to flip through this in front of the camera. So I think just holding the camera for these book collection updates are a little bit easier, I think. I don't know. You guys let me know. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. I just feel like you guys can see the books better this way. You get all that classic art, all that beautiful hand-painted art there. Classic Warren years. That's pretty cool. I'm all hunched over and straighten out my back. Being pretty daring, but I don't think there's any nudity or anything to worry about in this one, so I think we're good. How cool is that, huh? It's all pretty cool, especially that image. It's beautiful stuff. Classic. All right, guys, that is, book collection update for me, update 31. So hopefully you guys dug that one. It was fun to do. It had been a while since I've done one of these book collection updates, so just glad I finally had time to get this out there. So I have got to go. As always, thanks for stopping by. I do appreciate your time. And take it easy, guys. Keep collecting, and later.